the book of Daniel tells us that in the end time, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. The discovery of atom is a proof that knowledge have increased. But to dissect the atom is more astonishingly an improvement of the knowledge of humanity. And now they are on discovering the God's particle, the unseen particles in the universe, which they believe is more enormous than the seen particles. I do not know if I will be still around that day when they conclude that experiment that they are now starting in the LHC. But something I am sure, whether I am around yet or no, something I am sure, that in the Bible, 2,000 years ago, an inspired writer of the Scriptures told us that there are really things which are not seen, from which God produced these things that are seen. 11:3 of the book of Hebrews. And I believe that by faith. By faith. You see, my faith is advanced, more advanced than discoveries in science. And for that, I am content believing in my God. So, to the atheists that follow our webcast, I'm inviting you to believe in God, and you will see the wonderful power of the Lord Almighty, who created the heavens and the universe, which you doubt, which existence you doubt, cannot be refuted. The power of that God who created the entire universe cannot be refuted. Even science will succumb to that power. Let us read. In the book of Romans 1:19 up to 20, it says,
Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
What do you suspect, Brother Daniel, when the Bible tells us the invisible things of God?
There are indeed invisible things of God.
Invisible things of God. But to God, it is not invisible.
It can be seen.
It is invisible to us, but it do exist. According to Paul, the invisible things of God from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that atheists are without excuse.
Mm-hmm. That's right, brother.
Atheists are without excuse. When you do not believe in God, you are without excuse. Because the invisible things of God from the creation of the world are clearly seen. You can clearly see how powerful God is. Being understood by the things that are made. I believe that even atheists understand this thing. Being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that atheists are without excuse. Why do I add atheists? Because these are the people who do not believe in the existence of God, but they can in their mind perceive that there is an eternal power who created the universe. So, whose power is so immense that no human being can quantify, Brother Daniel. No human perception can qualify or quantify. And it is very much, very well defined by the Apostle Paul. The invisible things of God from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that atheists are without excuse. People are without excuse if they do not believe in God, because God has shown it to them. The invisible things of God, He have shown through the visible things which He have made. You see? What's the reason why for billions of years the sun have not lost its power, its heat, its light? Because there is something there which man do not understand in the beginning of humanity or of human existence. But now humans do understand it. Imagine producing 7 million times energy. Maybe, Brother Daniel, you can compare it. Burn a wood, an atom produces 1 electron volt. Burn uranium in the nuclear reactor, it produces 1 million electron volt. But by the Large Hadron Collider, a proton produces 7 million electron volts. You can imagine, the atom produces 1 electron volt. How wonderful it is to realize that the proton in the atom, by the LHC, produces 7 million electron volts. Is that the way?
7 million times more power.
7 million times more power. Meaning, the atom in burning a wood produces 1 electron volt of power. Is that it, Brother?
Yes, Brother Eli. And splitting a single uranium produces
1 million.
1 million.
But this is not the atom. It is the proton in the atom that the LHC is now experimenting on.
Which is much
and it's
smaller.
only a proton, a part of the a subparticle of an atom, but it produces 7 million times more energy. That explains why the sun is there until now. And its volume have not reduced significantly. It's almost the same as it was when it was created by God maybe 5 billion years ago. It explains how enormous the energy has the sun in reserve because of the wonderful world beyond the atom. You get my point, Brother?
Yes, Brother Eli.
That is it. I wish that all people of the web understand what we are talking about.
There's quite a parallelism with regard to photography, Brother Eli. Because there's this, what they call pixels. And the pixels, these are small dots that produces the image.
Change.
So if you're going to dissect it into small pieces, you'll not be able to see those dots at all. But if you're going to put them together, it will produce a big picture out of those small things.
Is that what
hardly
they
be
call
seen.
the megapixel, something like that?
That's right, Brother Eli. That is correct. So the higher the megapixels are, and the more it is, the more it can be clearly seen, Brother Eli.
So, this experiment is, for example, using parallelism, it's a pixel.
Yes, Brother Eli.
Let us remove the megapixels, the gigapixel, or whatever it is. It's a pixel.
Yes, Brother.
Divided into millions of times further. Just like the atoms being divided into subparticles. And now they have the proton capable of producing 7 million times more power than an atom in a nuclear reaction. And you see, nuclear reactors are very dangerous if it is left uncontrolled, because only a glass full of uranium produces as much energy that is that cannot be produced by thousands of barrels of oil. Just burning oil produces very less energy compared to the energy that is produced by a glass full of uranium. And you can imagine an atom, a uranium atom, produces 1 million, an atom of uranium produces 1 million electron volts or power. But the subparticle of an atom, which is the proton, in the LHC will produce 7 million times more. You can just imagine how is that. I just cannot explain it very completely because I'm not a scientist. I hope we can talk to a scientist about
and that's
this.
also one of the reasons why they are actually coming up with nuclear power plants nowadays, Brother Eli, instead of hydropower plants, because it produces more power.
It is more efficient, it produces more power, but with this experiment to be successful,
it's kind of huge.
It will multiply the power that can be produced by the nuclear power plant. Because you can just imagine the comparison. 1 million electron volts in an atom of uranium on an atom by atom scale. But this produces 7 million times more power than a single atom in a nuclear reaction. You see that? It is even powerful than we can imagine.
And it will be more dangerous if it will be left unsupervised, just like what you said.
Yes, they have a fear that it may create micro black holes. But I do not worry about that. Those micro black holes can only endanger mosquitoes, not humans. But let us go to the next portion of our webcast. We'll be coming back with Brother Noah, of course.
Yes, that's right, Brother Eli. We shall be right back. Please stay with us.